Welcome, everyone, to this Cash Forex global presentation. My name is John Kinnear. I'm happy to be presenting for you this evening in North American time zones. I hope you're all doing well. Friday evening for North America. We're going to share some significant information for you. We're not going to take a lot of time, but I think that you're going to find this information incredibly valuable. As you can tell from the title of the company, we are going to be talking about the global Forex market. So if this is something that's new to you, I think that you're going to be very excited about this particular offering and how this company, Cash Forex Group, is working very hard to create an offering for the average person in what can be a very complicated and intimidating marketplace. So we will dive right into the curriculum right now. First of all, what I'd like to do is just spend a couple of minutes and talk about the Forex market itself. So if you're watching this and Forex is new to you, don't feel intimidated, don't feel bad. I'll tell you one thing, that this is an absolutely massive market. In fact, it is the largest, most liquid financial market in the world. Large to the tune of, on average, more than $5 trillion every single day in money moved. That's an absolutely massive market. There's nothing that comes close to comparing to the size of the global Forex market. And as a result, of course, this is where all the big dogs play. Central banks and the entire banking infrastructure around the world, regardless of the country you live in, participates in the global Forex market. Multinational companies, imagine all the corporations around the world that manufacture products and have some elements of those products manufactured in other countries. Well, when they pay for those goods, think of car manufacture, for example, and certain components are manufactured in other countries. Do they pay for those bills, those products, in their local currency? No. They pay them in the currency of the company that's doing that sub-manufacturing for them. Also, finance companies, governments, the list goes on and on and on. But also, what we call retail participants. These are individuals like yourself or myself that may get involved in Forex as a bit of a hobby or something they take more seriously than a hobby. Believe it or not, there's tens of millions of participants around the world. But the average person may get scared off because there's a great deal of work that has to go into successful Forex trading. And that's what Cash Forex is all about. It's really about bringing this opportunity, this legitimate and massive opportunity, to the majority of people that may not be interested in actually learning how to trade. And we'll dive into that in just a minute. First of all, because of the size of this market, and also because when we talk about currency, we're really buying and selling of currencies. One's going up and the other's going down. And because of this balance, this has been historically proven as a recession-proof place to be, which is probably why so many of those big dogs, those big institutions, banks, et cetera, spend so much time and money here. Also, risk management flexibility. There's a great deal of flexibility in how one trades Forex and how one manages risk. And then there's also the opportunity to leverage oneself, regardless of whether you're a very, very large player moving hundreds of thousands, millions, or even billions of dollars in the Forex market, or just hundreds of dollars because you're doing it yourself. Everyone has an opportunity to leverage themselves in Forex, and that is very significant. Also, this is a 5-day-per-week market. So when the markets first open in Asia, Monday morning, all the way through to Friday afternoon, when the last markets are closing in New York, you can participate for 5 straight days, and then the weekend is no trading. So this may be a little bit different if you have some experience in the cryptocurrency markets that are 7 days a week. This is a 5-day-a-week market. Now, the cityscape that you see behind you is Panama City, Panama. And in fact, those tall buildings on the right-hand side of the shot, this is actually where Cash FX offices are located. And for those of you who have an interest in attending or touring those offices at some point, we would certainly love to have you anytime after our global launch, which is scheduled for the fall of 2019. Very soon is coming up. So a little bit about the company. First of all, as I mentioned a moment ago, the company is situated in Panama City. This is also where they're registered. And if you are looking for an exact location, anytime you've received an email from the company, it may have been during your registration, it may be during a time where you've earned something from Cash Forex, that address is the bottom of every single email you'll receive. Also very important for you to understand, you'll notice at the bottom, there's a number of regulatory authorities that are listed, from the FCA, which is very common and popular in Europe, FSA, which is very common and popular in South Africa, and many other regulatory authorities that match or cover the planet. Well, Cash Forex has 3 partner brokers, and these are all regulated partner brokers that they work very closely hand in hand with. Now, the mission of the company, we've kind of alluded to the mission during our talk about Forex. It really is to bring what can be a complicated trading environment and really simplify that whole process to bring it to the average person so that everybody has an opportunity to benefit from the largest financial market in the world. Now, when we come to values, one of the ways that we're going to be focusing on putting people's mind at rest and allowing them to participate successfully in Forex is transparency. Transparency is going to be absolutely paramount as you start to see all of the rollout in Cash Forex Group. And of course, much of this rollout is going to happen when the official launch takes place, from mobile applications that one can download and actually monitor trade results, to the simplicity in sharing this with others using some of the marketing pieces, including one that you see right now. You're also going to have opportunities to get to know the traders, to learn a little bit more about who they are, how they do what they do, and what technology is being used. In fact, we're going to touch on some of that technology right now. First of all, there are a few factors that are contributing to what we would consider, I think what any of you would consider, very, very successful trading to date. Most important for you to understand that this is a process that didn't just start a week or two or a month or two ago, but this is a process that has been in development for many, many months. In fact, more than a year in the developing of their very first EA. If you're unfamiliar with the term EA, very simply, it's an abbreviation for a piece of software the companies use in the Forex space called expert advisors. Now, this is software that is developed and it's proprietary, which means that our own in-house traders developed this software. They know best how to manage it and how to make sure that it's operating optimally. And that's software that all of you have an opportunity to benefit from. Some of you are benefiting from it already, but they're also focusing on what we call AI trading. And that's another term that you may be familiar with. AI is an abbreviation for artificial intelligence. Now, when you, I'll drop a few big trading house financial company names on you that I'm sure you'll be familiar with. Companies like Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan and many, many others are transitioning to AI trading. And there are several reasons for it. One of the biggest, of course, is efficiency. There's so much data that's now available to the world that there's this data that can be plugged into AIs, and AIs are now actually surpassing what live professional traders are capable of doing. And of course, one of the hardest things to do successfully as a trader when you move into larger and larger trade accounts is try to keep the emotion out of your results. And of course, AIs have absolutely no problem with that. So that is key and critical. So we've got a combination of live professional traders, EAs we just defined, and AIs we just defined. So a combination of all 3 of those things at various stages creating the results that they're creating. Lastly, and I mentioned this earlier, marketing tools. So this is going to be one of the easiest platforms that you've ever participated in sharing with others. Now, some of you may choose not to share with others, and that's entirely your prerogative. But if you choose to, this will be a very easy thing to do. We mentioned mobile applications. You can open up and share with friends when you're sitting around having a coffee, but also things like these YouTube events that are going to happen globally in multiple languages are also going to be very easy for you to rely on and participate in. So let's dive into the real meat and potatoes of this offering. Our Academy program is key, and it's absolutely paramount to this offering. One of the reasons it's so paramount is because Cash Forex is being designed to be what we call a legacy company. Now, I've been fortunate. I've been participating or have participated in legacy companies before, companies that I started endorsing in the network marketing space more than 20 years ago that I still generate a 5-figure income from every single month. And that's one of the perks or one of the benefits of a legacy company that has very well engineered products and is really built by strong corporate teams to last long term. I think it's probably one of the blessings in business that everybody aspires to, the idea of participating in something that will be around for years and years and years. And part of this Academy program is really designed to make sure that this is built on a proper legal footing, and that is the Academy is actually the premier product. This is all focused on the Academy. So regardless of how you get involved, there's an Academy portion earmarked for your level of involvement. And that's broken down into 3 different series. First of all is the Elemental series. And the Elemental Series focuses on the most basic things, Forex terminology, and really understanding how the market works. And there are segments of that Elemental Series. And then the Supreme Series is where you're actually getting into the ins and outs of actually making trades, some of the technology that exists in Forex and how you navigate around that. And then finally, it's the Advanced Professional Series. And when we talked about AI, and how it really is helping in master the human side of things, well, that's really what the Advanced Professional Series is all about. Really separating yourself from the pack and understanding the biggest challenges in mindset and habits to learn how to become and act like a professional trader. So let's introduce you to our trade contracts. And we'll talk a little bit more about the Academy and how important the Academy is as we navigate through this list of contracts. The first entry-level contract that we have is called, well, it's basically a $300 contract within the Elemental Series. And you'll notice that 30% of the value of that contract, 30% of $300 is $90, is earmarked to the very first Academy segment. So what that means very simply is the remaining $210 of the cost of the $300 contract is then dedicated to trading as part of the trading program that you will be able to generate benefits from as our traders are successful. You'll also notice below that it says leadership program. And there is indeed a leadership program for those of you who choose to share this with others. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in another 2 or 3 minutes. So you'll see as we work through all of these contracts that are in the Elemental Series, in every single case, mathematically, 30% of the value of the contract has been earmarked for that section of the Academy pack. So you open up these sections, and this is going to be built very much like an online university. So you'll need to complete one before you move on to the second, which you complete and move on to the third, and so on and so forth. And this is going to lay that foundation for you. Even if you choose never to trade as a professional or as an amateur for yourself, you still will be receiving these, because you'll notice in a moment, this is actually what feeds the rewards plan. And that's, of course, what makes a viable, legal, and lasting business is the fact that you are buying a product and members that share this are getting paid on those product purchases. Now, the Supreme Series, that middle series we talked about, is where we're getting into a little bit more detail regarding the ins and outs, the do's and the don'ts of actually making trades. And so there's 3 sections inside that, 5K, 10K, and 20K. And just like before, 30% of those packages are earmarked for the Academy. And the balance goes into a trading account with which you'll benefit from based on the results of the live professional traders and the infrastructure that they're using, the AIs and the EAs. And then the last series, the Advanced Professional, this is really where we're going to get into the science of successful trading. And I don't want to share too much with you. I want it to be a surprise when launch happens, but you will actually have an opportunity to speak with live professional traders and really dig in and learn this material well as you choose to migrate through to these packages. What's most important for you to understand with any of these Academy packages is you'll see a seal for every one of them, that circular seal. And inside there's both a bear and a bull represented. Now, those bears and bulls have meanings outside of the typical trading terminology. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that right now as I introduce you to the rewards plan. So first of all, what is a bear and what does bear mean to you? A bear participant would be one that's benefiting from automated trading, but isn't necessarily sharing cash Forex with anyone else. Now, every contract value can be grown by 200% or 2 times the contract price, even as one who is simply benefiting from the contract. So if we use that entry-level $300 contract as an example, as a bear participant, you can make $600 through trading gains. When you hit the life of that contract, that will be happening at 200%, so $600 in gains. Now, there's a bit of a fork in the road that you'll reach at that point. You can either quit and you can take your profits, or you can choose to upgrade or purchase another contract. You'll notice that the $500 contract would be an upgrade of $200. If you choose to do that, you need to make sure you upgrade before the life of that contract, the term full 200% is met. But that's exactly how the system works. So it's very easy to get started at a low-level contract, and you work your way through the series with the gains that you're realizing along the way. Now, if you're like me, and you just can't not help but share something that you are excited about, you'll also be able to benefit from the bull contract. And the bull is an additional 2 times for a total of 4 times the contract value. So if we use the $300 contract as an example, I can earn a maximum of $600 on the bear side and a maximum of $600 for a total of $1,200 on the bull side. Now, if you also remember, we had a leadership program points that were attached to every single contract. So as you start at a contract, use some of your profits to upgrade. Of course, some of those profits you'll withdraw and put in your jeans, but some you upgrade every single time you move up that contract ladder to another contract. Guess what's happening? Of course, you're accumulating more personal points. And as you share with others, you're accumulating more group points. And again, we're going to talk about why that is in just a moment. But if you take a look at the graphic that's on the far right-hand side, I want to show you as the rewards plan is introduced to those of you who want to participate on the bull side, how you're going to benefit. The first thing you need to understand is that, again, 30% of every contract is being earmarked towards Academy. What's really interesting, though, a full 100% of the Academy value is going into this rewards plan. Half of it, $300, would go to a fast start bonus. That would be like a sponsor bonus. And the other half would be going into a unilevel bonus, which would be for a whole team to benefit from. What's most important, though, even though there are real costs, real genuine costs in building out and developing the Academy, the company is taking that on the chin, and they're allocating 100% of that Academy value to those of you who are going to share CFX with others. So, trade results. Let's get into the specific trade gains that one can expect by participating. Now, it's important you understand and read the disclaimer at the very bottom of this page. Of course, the reality is trading on the global Forex marketplace is risky. And you make sure, it's very important, you make sure you're only risking money that you can afford to lose, because past indication or past results is no way a guarantee of any future results when it comes to Forex. That said, I will tell you that the traders themselves and their technology have been performing incredibly well. But it also is important for you to understand that there is a cap in place. Now, this is a weekly cap of 15%. So the most that you will gain on your trading contract in a 1 week period of time is 15%. That cap is put there for a very good reason, because as we all know, we do have highs and lows. Market conditions in Forex can change. Think of this as a bit of a rainy day fund. If we have an extraordinary gain week, anything over that 15% cap can be set aside for weaker weeks that come some point in the future. Also, we talk about bears and bulls in the beginning. We define those terms for you. You're going to see bears and bulls attached to every element, every page of this presentation from this point on. So the trading itself is going to accelerate your bear capital. Remember, 2 times the contract value maximum is bear capital. 2 times contract maximum gain is bull value. So the fast start, which comes from sharing obviously this with others, would go towards bull capital. So remember, there are 2 bonuses we discussed, a unilevel bonus and a fast start bonus. This is the first of the 2. So every single time that you share Cash FX with someone else, the first thing you need to understand is that the 30% that's earmarked towards the contract, the Academy package, half of that value will go to you in the form of what we call a fast start bonus, a sponsor bonus. What's interesting, though, there is no auto ship in this platform. You don't have to have a monthly recurring cost. But what's also quite interesting is as contracts reach their term and your friends choose to either renew a contract or upgrade, you'll continue receiving fast start bonuses. Very, very cool part of the plan. So again, this is accumulating bull capital. And as we get into the unilevel, which is the second half of the rewards plan, this is actually a structure that goes from levels 1 through 10. However, as I mentioned before, there is a leadership program, and it's very important because you'll notice what we call a leadership pin above every one of these columns as we move through levels 5, 7, 9, and 10. And as you move through those leadership ranks, and we'll share a little bit more as to how you do that, eventually you'll find yourself in a position, if you build this out, where you could actually be benefiting from a level 11 to infinity. This is extremely substantial because, as you can imagine, we're going to make this incredibly easy for you to share, and we're going to work our hardest to make sure your results are always fantastic on the trading side, which means that organically, it's entirely possible that sharing this with just a handful of friends could easily grow to level 10, level 20, level 50, and beyond. So you absolutely have a mechanism in place of this unilevel to capture all of that. And of course, this comes from sharing with friends, so this is also bull capital. All right, now this is a very unique bonus. I told you a moment ago we were going to have two bonuses specifically, and we do. In the rewards plan we have do, but this is a bit of an exception to the rule. This is something that's very unusual. Many of you may have never seen this before. This is actually a portion of the rewards plan that you can benefit from, even if you focus only as a bear customer participant and you never share this with anyone. I'm going to repeat that again because it's very significant. If you never share this with anyone at all, you can still benefit from this forced matrix. I'm going to show you how. First of all, every single time anyone that's using the platform, whether you're a customer or whether you're something that's building by sharing this with others, all of you will be making withdrawals at some point. That's one of the net benefits of a successful business. You're going to make money. So as you withdraw, the company is going to charge a withdrawal fee of 20%. Now, before you get too worked up, it's very important you understand the company itself is retaining none of that 20% fee. All of it is coming back to us as builders in bonuses. And it's even coming back to us as non-builders as bonuses. I'm going to show you how. First of all, that 20% fee is broken up three ways. The first, in other words, half of it, 50%, is going to the matrix that you're going to see in a moment. 10% of it will go to a matching bonus, and the remaining 40% is going to go to some really remarkable leadership perks that we'll talk about in just a minute. So let's take a look at this matrix. Now, this is fixed. We showed you the unilevel a moment ago. By definition, or by not so definition, but by nature, a unilevel is unlimited in width. You could sponsor 3 people, you could sponsor 5, you could sponsor 105, and all of them would be on your level 1 in a unilevel. In a forced matrix, the widest that you can go in the structure is only 3. So level 2 would be 9, level 3 would be 27, and then 81, and so on and so forth. So even if you are a bear participant and never sponsor a single person, if you're part of an actively growing group, you'll see this start to grow around you at a fairly quick pace. Because what happens, of course, is there are individuals above you who are sharing and who are building this out and have a fixed structure. So there's only so many places for individuals to go. But what's interesting is you take a look at the right-hand side, 3, 3, 5, 6, 10, those are percentages. As withdrawals are made, those are percentages from those withdrawals that would actually go into this matrix. And as you can imagine, while this is a slower building reward in the beginning, over time, this could become quite extraordinarily substantial. So because customers and builders can participate, this actually contributes to your bear capital. So your trading gains and your matrix contribute to your bear capital. Everything else will contribute to your bull capital. All right, so I want to share one more detail with you that's really quite a remarkable addition to the contracts, the 300 and the 500, the 1,000, the 2,000, the 5 and beyond. Now, what's interesting about this is you'll see just to the right of this, you'll also see levels 1, 2, 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. What does this mean? Well, very simply, based on the size of your contract, you're able to earn deeper and deeper and deeper into this matrix. What's so important about this? I want you to consider all of your friends that have never shared anything with anyone before, but love the idea of a simple approach to profiting from Forex. Now imagine these individuals, we call them customers because they're not sharing with anyone, when they learn that they can earn deeper and deeper into the matrix, even without sharing with anyone else, simply by getting a larger contract. So in other words, when they hit the completion of their contract and they have profits, trading profits, instead of simply buying the same contract again, they have the option of upgrading that contract. Why should that matter to you? Well, very simply, remember 30% of every contract is earmarked to the Academy Pack, and 100% of that goes out in bonuses, including fast start bonuses and unilevel bonuses. So even as your customers upgrade in contracts, that's still contributing to your fast start income, and it's still contributing to your entire team unilevel income. All right. So because there's a matching bonus here, which is obviously based on sharing with others, this will affect both bull and bear. Now, last slide I want to discuss with you is the leadership program. As we said before, sort of working your way through this leadership ladder is no more challenging than working your way through the contract ladder. It's a very easy thing to do. First leadership rank, of course, is executive. An executive is reached by sharing this with 3 people, 3 referrals. These all 3 obviously would be in your unit level. They would be on your level 1, and a total team volume of 7,000 group volume. So what that means is as they purchase contracts or renew contracts, your total group volume is growing and accumulating. And so you can see manager, for example, is a very natural progression from 7,000 group volume to 25,000 group volume. And then director is a very natural progression from there, from 25,000 to 100,000 group volume. So you're going to find yourself working through this hierarchy of these leadership pins. And what's wonderful, of course, is as you do every single one of these, and I'm not going to tell you what they are now, but there's going to be some incredible prizes and rewards for doing so that will be revealed upon company official launch. There's also a leadership matching bonus attached to this. So there's an awful lot to be excited for when setting your sights on moving your way through the leadership program. And again, this comes from you sharing with others. So this contributes to your bull capital. So with that, I want to thank you very much for your time and attention. I told you it was a short presentation, but action-packed to say the least. Let me say this in wrapping up. The most important thing here from the company's perspective is really bringing what can be a scary place, that's the global Forex market, bringing this to the masses for them to participate successfully. And we're very, very excited about them having the opportunity to do that. You having the opportunity to share it, and your friends having the opportunity to benefit from it. So I would strongly encourage those of you who are here as a guest to get back to your friend, and all you simply need to let them know is you love the idea of profiting from Forex, you want to be a bear participant as a customer, or you're so excited about how simple the offering is, you think you probably may share this with others, and you'd like to participate as a bull customer. Simply let your friends know, and they'll help you take the next step. So thanks again for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you again soon.